Good morning, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. We are joined by Chef Michael Cavanese, and he is from Café des Artistes, and that's located where exactly?
That's in the historic downtown merchants area of Fallbrook, the village of Fallbrook on Main and Alvarado Streets, right in the heart of the village.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for being here today. It's very nice meeting you. And now, before we get into the cooking part of it, tell us a little bit about Café des Artistes, what kind of a restaurant it is, what you offer, what makes you different from other restaurants?
Well, I think the main difference in us is we're an anti-chemical restaurant. So I don't understand how, I'm not a scientist, but I don't understand how your body processes chemicals that are put in food to preserve it for 5 years. So I just have a very hard time understanding that. And I thought that, well, why not eliminate chemicals? And I grew up in New York City where we shopped every day for stuff.
That's where you were from. That's where you're from. I could hear the accent, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Well, I'm sort of a chameleon. I've lived in Boston, and I've lived in Texas, and I've lived in Washington, D.C., so I try to assimilate into the area. So, yeah, there's still some New York there, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, having fresh food and having great markets in New York brought me out here to California, and I love the food out here, and Fallbrook is just a fantastic area. We have so many great organic restaurants, not restaurants, farms out here. We have growers that I get most of my produce and greens from locally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you guys also make some of your own bread as well.
We do. On all of our panini sandwiches, we have a couple of different venues that we do. We do specialty salads with all organic greens and vegetables and salmon and other things, wild salmon that we put on them. We also have a series of cold sandwiches that we do with an organic bread that's a sweet bread. It's kind of nice, works well with the tuna salads and chicken salads, which we make in the restaurant. And then we have the paninis. Our specialty is paninis, and our wild salmon panini is, I guess, our signature dish.
Really? Is that what you're going to be making for us today?
Well, today I'm going to try something a little different. We created a sandwich. We do a grilled organic eggplant, which I've taken the opportunity to grill beforehand because the show is not going to be 2 hours long.
Right.
We grill it on this particular bread we're using is a ciabatta bread. We're going to add some brie to it, some aioli. Aioli is a mixture, sort of an Italian mayonnaise with some pesto and some garlic and basil in it.
I've definitely heard of that. I've had that before.
It's wonderful. And some sweet red bell peppers, which we've also taken the liberty of roasting ahead of time. And then I'm going to complement that. I'm going to put it in the panini grill when it's all assembled. And then I'm going to complement it with one of our organic salads.
So how does this work?
So we're going to start with the bread, obviously, first. So we're going to apply some of our aioli on both sides of this bread that we're doing, the sandwich that we're doing.
Just the bread smells good enough for me.
The bread is pretty phenomenal.
Bread.
We just baked this bread last night, so it's nice and fresh. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to layer eggplant on it. So we're going to put...
I really like the fact that you guys use all fresh, organic foods, because everything is so processed today, you don't really know what you're eating. So this is good to know.
Well,
this kind of sets you apart from a lot of other places.
I'll tell you what sets me apart. Let me share a story with you. And people have a hard time believing this, but growing up in New York City, my mom was a fanatic for freshness, absolute fanatic. And I remember coming home at Christmas time. We had a traditional meal which had 7 different kinds of fish on Christmas Eve. And
what kind of cheese is that, by the way?
That's a brie cheese.
It's
a nice French brie, 60% cream in it, so it's really nice.
Okay.
And so we'd have all different kinds of fish, shrimp and clams and mussels and salmon. You get bluefish on the East Coast, which is not normally found out here. And eel. And eel is quite a delicacy, especially cooked properly. And Mom really knew how to do that. Well, Mom, being the fanatic for freshness, I came home from school one time, and I'm like 8 years old. I'm a young boy. And she said, Michael, go and look in the bathroom. And I go in the bathtub, and there's 3 eels swimming in there.
Oh, gosh.
Mom, what are these eels doing in the bathtub? She said, well, she heard from a friend that if she feeds it cornmeal, it'll clean out their intestines, so we don't have to worry about it when we eat them in 2 days. Now, being 8 years old, not having to take a bath that night, that was great.
That was fun by you, yeah.
That absolutely made it fantastic. So,
oh my gosh.
So that's where I get this, some people call it an insanity for freshness, but But my desire for freshness is just unbelievable. And once again, I think we should eat what's fresh.
Yeah. That's about as fresh as it gets when you can actually see the eels swimming around in your tub.
That's yeah. Not
Bye,
too many
guys.
people would do that.
See you later.
But that's where it all started with that. And I was the youngest in a family of, I have two older siblings. And so I would get the chore of going shopping with Mom, and I got to see her. And I mean, she'd pick out chickens that we were going to eat. They were live and have them slaughtered in the place in New York City. So
yeah,
so
my grandparents in their village in Greece, same thing. They had their own farm and raised their own chickens. And I saw a video one time of the chicken, being taken care of. I still eat chicken,
right.
But I never watched anything like that again.
Right. Well, it's that's why they're raised. I mean, let's face it. I mean, none of us like to see any animal getting injured or hurt or slaughtered, but they're being raised specifically for that purpose. So
now with the paninis, sorry to cut you off. No. So all you've done is you've put the aioli sauce on the bread, you've layered it with eggplant, put the brie cheese, and then the roasted roasted peppers.
Roasted red bell peppers, yeah,
okay.
Which we've roasted ourselves. Okay.
Right.
So now we're just going to complete the assembly of the second one.
Okay, that's
panini grill,
hot and ready to go.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to place panini on there.
And like you said, because these are generally running all day at the restaurants, it'll zap it in just a couple minutes.
Well, yeah, it should take 2 to 3 minutes to get it done.
Got it.
Now I'm going to take some of our wonderful, wonderful organic grains we have. Look at how beautiful these are. This is a farm in Fallbrook that actually ships a lot of product to New York City. So one can only imagine how expensive it has to be in New York because it's expensive here.
Right.
But she does such a magnificent job with this that, and they're all green. We get them, this lettuce was picked yesterday morning. So
is this how you serve it at the restaurant generally? Exactly. You would have the panini with a salad?
Yep.
Okay.
Salad or soup. We also make all of our own soups. So we, like today for example, we have a wonderful chicken with fresh vegetable and optional pasta in it or not. Some people may not want the starch, so we put the pasta in at the end, and by putting it at the end too, it prevents it from getting soggy. If you leave pasta, the longer you leave it in something, the more moisture it absorbs. Yeah. So we're avoiding that.
It's a good time for soup now because it's getting cold.
It's getting cold. So. Really nice time for soup. So now we're putting some really nice English cucumbers on top. So we had some black olives, English cucumber. We have some organic tomatoes we're going to add on next, and then we're going to drizzle it with some of our homemade balsamic vinaigrette.
I love balsamic. That's my favorite kind of dressing. But not everybody can get it right. Sometimes they put too much vinegar in it, sometimes not enough vinegar. But for the most part, when I've tried balsamic vinegar dressing, it's been really good.
Well, I'm going to give your listeners a little secret here. The best way to cut that vinegary taste is use honey instead of sugar. Most places, when they make something and it has that sharpness to it or acidity taste, they try to cut that with sugar. And I learned 6 years ago, that it's easier to do it by using honey.
Okay.
And so it's
interesting.
Yeah, we are now ready. Our paninis are
they look
nice
good.
And
they smell good.
Fresh.
All right.
Put that over there.
Now, real quickly, I know you have some things that go on at the restaurant, so maybe you could talk about that also.
Sure.
Let the viewers know.
Well, being as fanatical as I am with the restaurant, I tend to want to be there all the time. And so our hours are Monday through Saturday from 10 to 4, serving lunch from 11 till 3. We have these wonderful desserts that are in the restaurant, some that we make, some that we get from some of the wonderful bakers, both out here in North County and in Lake Elsinore. I found the new baker who does a magnificent job on things. And I have some people in town who just like to bake things, and they bring them into the cafe. Then on Thursday and Friday evenings, because a lot of our customers like to have a light affair, we've converted to a Bistro Nights menu. Okay. And we try to put international inspired dishes on this. Then we do wine flights, and we do the wine flights with traditionally local wines.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, so you've got some things going on there too that people can.
Yeah.
Oh, do I get to try this now?
Oh, you certainly do.
Okay. Very excited. Can you also give out your contact information, phone number, website, whatever you guys have available?
Sure. Cafe des Artistes, CAFEDESARTISTES.US or .net. We have those plus .com. I own all those three names. Our phone number is 760-728-3350. Our menu is posted on the web. Our hours, a very good visual presentation of the cafe. Very artistic. We focus a lot of local artists in there.
Well, this was excellent.
Great.
Very easy to do, very simple. You've got all that information, the website, phone number, if you'd like to check out their menu, check out the restaurant. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
And enjoy the rest of the
Oh, I most definitely will. Thank you.
Great.
We'll be right back with more right after the break.